Good morning, traders, and God bless. Feels good to be back. If you're new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I am your host. And this morning we'll be watching this volume spike column for any stocks that are moving. Once you see this number rising in green, we know the buyers are starting to attack that one particular stock. Once we see this spike, we look over here to make sure the volume is high enough to get in and get out safely. If this is not a high flow number, you may want to reconsider purchasing until this volume is really like ants on candy. It needs to be really moving so that you don't have any delays in your purchases and sales. We'll be watching this indicators over here. This is the 5 and the 13. Usually when we're spiking, you'll see these two moving averages have crossed over. You'll see these white arrows coming in. Those are volume spikes driving the price up. We'll also be looking down here at volume dominator. If we see a price rising, we want to make sure we have green bars down here. These are volume bars. They're buyers and sellers, and we want to see a lot of green bars, taller preferably, before we get in. I'll be marking support and resistance levels. This would be a resistance level. The price ran up. Then it pulls back, and I will mark a support level, and you want to plan your entry down here around the support level after the run up. Usually the stock will take off, so the stock runs up, a few people take profit, then it'll come down here to support, turn around, and it'll shoot up, sometimes higher than the first run. And that's the play we try to catch. It's called the pullback strategy. Down here is the My Blessing indicator. We like to see this indicator above the yellow line. This is the trend of the stock. It's in white. I'd like to see it trending upwards. This is the buyers and the sellers on this line. Green indicates they're buying, red indicates they're selling or holding, or it's equal battle between the buyers and sellers. But above this yellow line, you should be good to go. Never trade off of my screen. My screen is sometimes delayed. Delays can cost you money. Make sure you get set up on your own computer and trade directly off of your computer. I'm also not a financial advisor. Do not take my words to heart. Don't just buy because it looks good, or you may hear me say, I'll take a piece of this one, or I'm getting in here. Don't let that be your decision to buy or sell the stocks. I am not a professional advisor. I build indicators, and I teach my strategy that works for me to all who are willing to join us. If you haven't joined our Discord, the link is at the top of the chat. It's that blue band with the yellow stripe. Come and join us. We make money almost every day. Sometimes we lose a little, to be honest, but we give it our best shot. This is a tough market, and currently we are waiting for stocks to pop up as they happen. Thank you for joining me this morning as we wait on these spikes to take off. We have about a minute and a half to go before market open. And as soon as I see one moving, I'll click on it and we'll try to plan an entry. And I thank you for joining me this morning after my long vacation. I thank you for your patience waiting on me to return. I had a wonderful time getting away from everything, clearing the mind. I'm ready to go. Looks like it may be turning a little bit red before our market opens, as typical. Thank you, Robert Pro. All right, about 10 seconds to go. Be careful with what you do, what you trade. Make sure it's the right trade for you. And let's see what happens here. Going to remove these lines temporarily until we get some more here. Let's see if we can get this stock to participate. It's got to break this high right here before I'm even interested. Not seeing any volume spikes. I'm always watching this column for anything that's moving. They're sorted from volume highest to lowest. So if you see some volume down here starting to increase, you will see the stock work its way up to the top. This one not looking so good. You'll also see some other traders in the chat room posting stocks. That's because ThinkorSwim's delay on refreshing the scans is about 5 minutes. So other members will be posting stocks as well. Maybe their scan refreshes before mine or mine before them. So we try not to miss any. Good morning, YouTube. Good to see you. You can see right here, these are the stocks that are moving this morning. They're not moving very well since our market opened, but these are the ones that were moving prior to our market open. I think the Lord will bless us today. We'll get a couple of plays in, I have no doubt. Bob, they were north of us up in the Conroe area. That's probably an hour north. Down here where I live close to the lake or the upper Galveston Bay, and the warmth from that bay water usually makes the rain clouds part around us for some reason. Just when you think you're going to get a good rainstorm, they split in half and go around. I guess that's not a bad thing, but sometimes we do need the rain. All right, let's see. ELDN making a move. Got nice dominator bars. We're looking good down here on the My Blessing. Nice buyers coming in. And that's how fast it happens. You got to keep your eye on the screen, on that scan, on those percentages, on the volume spike. Maybe pulling back here. I'm going to go ahead and mark the resistance level. Watch this candle here. If it dips way down and then you see a wick coming in on the bottom, that means the buyers are buying up what they're selling. That long wick on the bottom could be a potential entry position. If this candle closes, I will mark support and wait for the bounce back up, but it looks like they're going to sell it off. This could be a pump and dump. This is why we wait on the pullback. We don't want to chase these green candles and then all of a sudden we get slammed with this big red one. Looks like a big trap to me. Thank you, Nature Therapy Films. It's good to be back, brother. And believe it or not, on vacation, I just could not get my mind off of being here. I eventually did, but it's an addiction. I love being here with you guys trading, and it's hard to walk away from something you enjoy. So just know I missed you as well as you missed me. So this one, not so good. This is what we're looking for, though. We're looking for them to run up, a slight pullback so I can mark resist support level so we can play it to the upside. Now we enjoy our coffee and wait for the next one to start spiking. All right, let's see. AIRE may or may not be a play, kind of a cheap stock. It looks like it's only moving pennies per candle. May not be a whole lot of money in this one. I don't like the way that it sold off for quite some time, probably about 10 minutes here. Could just be a few buyers thinking it's going to bounce back up. And we don't bet our money on thinking. It's either happening or it's not. Thank you, Silverado. Looking good on the dominator bars, looking good on the My Blessing indicator. It could go up. Looks like the buyers are coming in for a few penny gain. I don't believe this is a good strong run. I'm going to stay clear of it. There's really not enough money in it when the candle, you get a big green candle and it's only worth a penny and a half. Never buy these green candles. Wait for the pullback. You're not going to miss it. If you do, it probably saved you a few dollars. If you chase green candles, it's going to cost you money almost every time. You may get lucky once in a while, but that luck runs out pretty quick. I don't like trading on luck. I like being blessed and trade where I know the money is. Good morning, Peter. Glad to see you. Not enough buyers to bring this one up. You can see the volume here just barely moving. Well, nothing at the moment. We'll keep waiting. Something will happen. I did get a chance to hit a few back road trails over in Moab, Utah. That was a great experience. Got to climb a 10-foot boulder with one of my 4x4s. And I'm talking 4.5-ton pickup, not a little SUV looking thing. We actually had a blast. Watch the wall climbers. I don't know how they do that stuff, the rock climbers. It's kind of like you can put their coffin at the bottom as they climb. They're a lot braver than I am. No volume on ESPR. That's UBS. Why does that say UBS? Why did it click? It's not selected. How did that get undone? All right, back in the show. So we did New Mexico, we did Utah, we did Colorado. We got to experience all the seasons, the rain, the sleet, the hail, the snow, the heat. It was quite an experience. Did the $1 Million Highway in Colorado that goes to Ouray and Silverton. It's a shelf road, very exciting. But now it's in the past. All right, SBFM. This one moves frequently. The stock's been around a little while. It as well is only paying pennies. Not enough volume to get in it. Strangest thing about Colorado is every time I've been, and I've only been twice, it's not like every time, but I like talking to people. I guess you already know that as well. But I would try to find a local to just see what's interesting around here that I shouldn't miss while I'm here. And I'm going to say 90% of the people, their reply is, I'm from Texas. It's like half the state is up there for some reason. So it got to the point where I wouldn't even ask. I would just say, what part of Texas are you from? And usually they would reply. SBFM pulling back a little. There's not enough volume in it to even think about making a play. Watching these volume spike numbers, need to see them start growing. Not much activity this morning. It's kind of acting like a Friday for some reason. If this is your first time on a YouTube live stream, it only lasts for an hour. Then I continue over on Discord for another 2.5 hours. I'd like to encourage you to join us. You'll learn a lot more over there. Have a lot of scans. I think there's 52 scans, 27 custom indicators, a large community to chat with. Thank you, Barry. It's good to be back, brother. Good to see you. Now we just need a stock. We need these numbers to fly. I'm anxious to click the buy button. I did not trade the whole time I was gone. JMIA, another low volume stock, not going to go anywhere. So what we're doing here is I'm looking for where the crowd goes. We want everybody that's trading pre-market to see the same stock that we see, and everyone starts buying it. That's the purpose for watching for this number to really be moving. We want high volume flow. We want to join them wherever they are. Jump into the crowd. That's good to know, Barry. It's hard for me to identify people from one platform to the next. Man, it's quiet. The numbers aren't even changing. So what you do in times like these is you just patiently wait. Don't try to create a play. Don't try to get into one that's barely moving, because if it's barely moving, it's probably barely going to sell off as well. So you have to have patience. And when we finally get one, take advantage of it. You got that right, Peter. We just have to have patience and wait. Summertime's usually slow in the market, and we're coming into summer. When school lets out, you have to really sit here and be patient and wait because the market slows down. When school lets out, they usually go on vacation. Some of the investors are not here. Plus, I think everybody's currently frustrated with the administration. There's a lot of things affecting the market right now. I wish none of this affected the market. It should be a game of buyers and sellers, not emotions. We'll get through it soon. Election day is coming. Hopefully it gets all ironed out. You got that right, Bob. I've been a victim of that myself. You have to remember, I also had to learn. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. Everybody's going to make them. Just when you're doing really good, a big red candle takes it all away. That's what you have to try to avoid. It's part of learning. Good morning, James. Let's take a look at the SPY while we're doing absolutely nothing. It's coming down. Let's put it on a 15-minute chart. Kind of holding flat on the 15-minute. Let's see what the 5-minute looks like. 5-minute currently pulling backwards. Gravity has a hold. Nature, I just took a look at it. Did it reverse finally? It's not climbing in my opinion. Currently pulling back. Right now, I don't see any hope on anything. There's no volume. ELDN. Not seeing a lot of excitement of buyers and sellers up here. So it's going to be a while before that one moves, if it does at all. Nature, I know you were looking at a bigger picture. I'm looking at a much smaller time frame. You are probably correct, Bob, but it can't stay like that forever. Something's going to happen one morning at 6 a.m., and you'll get paid for sitting here and being patient. Just got to remember we monitor the market, we don't move the market. So all we can do is sit and wait. ESPR is the highest volume on our scans. Guess we'll watch it for a while, see if the buyers come in. Ricky, that might be the best idea this morning. I haven't lost confidence. Something will move eventually. Might be at the top of the hour, which would be 7 a.m. my time, which is Central Time. SGE possibility. Thank you, Ricky. Very low volume. Probably not a stock play. But you're right, it's moving. Does anybody remember yesterday's movers? I did not have a computer to trade on, so I don't know what they were. It's a possibility they could be the movers for today. Could be some continuation plays. XBP. NUVO. I'm looking at the 15-minute to see if they're moving this morning. TCBP. MULN. MULN might have a possibility. Let me get rid of all of mine that's been sitting in here for weeks in my personal watch list. Make sure you keep a personal watch list of the previous movers. That could be your secret to get money when nothing else is happening. Always keep an eye on the previous day's movers. MULN. NUVO, I think I looked at it. All right, not looking so good for them. Maybe MULN later, we will see. BVS. Not very much volume on the last bar. That would be resistance. This would be support. This is where you need it to pull up from. But with this low volume, it's going to be a tough move. Probably won't happen. It is a gap up stock. Not enough volume to even trigger this spike indicator. What a slow market this morning. Thank you, Jimmy. It's good to be back. Yeah, it's very dormant this morning. More red than green, no spikes. Chad, I bought two of them in 2017, the GMC Sierra 4x4s. I had both of them lifted and 35s put on them. Those are amazing trucks. If you've never driven one, they can do just about anything. We climbed a 10-foot boulder. Of course, we had the air down to do it, but climbed it. It's probably a 40-degree. I didn't think we'd make it, but we did. All right, let's see. TCBP on the move. I'm watching. I'm looking for anything that's moving. This one again, only paying pennies. That big old candle is only about, well, I guess that one was 10-cent candle there. That's not bad. I'm watching this volume. The volume is extremely low. The only reason it's moving so well is because nobody was buying it or selling it. So even minimal volume will move it. So be careful. You may not can get in and get out safely when the volume's that low. Watching the dominator bars. There's a red one. My blessing indicator looks good. Make sure your chart is on EXT for the time and force so you don't miss a trade. All right, let's see if we get a pullback here. If we get a long wick on the bottom of that candle, that means they're buying it up, but we didn't. Now they're pushing through. So down here would be an entry, but I'm not going to buy this one. I don't like how low the volume is. And that's why. Yeah, they're 2017s. That's the year before they started turning the engines off at the red light. I think that's the craziest idea I ever heard. Yeah, but you got to look. We're down here in the Texas heat. The red lights are 3 to 4 to 5 minutes long. When the engine dies, so does the air conditioner. And you know, we're all spoiled brats. We have to have our AC. Bob, was it working yesterday? Could just be a Schwab server or TD server. I don't know which one you're on. They're supposed to change me over again on May 10th. I don't know. I've gotten this is my third email for the changeover, but they never did it on the first two. Maybe they'll do it this time. Thank you, Seahorse Trading. It's good to be back. Kind of slow though. I was wanting some excitement this morning. Today, test the patience. Well, I hope this changeover goes smoothly. I don't need another setback. That Microsoft setback yesterday was a disappointment. I don't see how they have a right to do that. Ricky, it was a custom built one. I have 5 total, 427s and the laptop screen. Of course, when I change over to just the tower setup, it'll only be 4 screens. CMMD, not seeing it on my chart. Making a move. Let me clear the lines from a previous trade. See if we can get a pullback on it. That would be resistance. Watch for a long wick on the bottom here. I'm not liking these long wicks on the top, so be careful on this stock. Looks like it's going up, but they sell it off. We did push up above resistance. We need a retest of that $1.43. There's the retest. Let's see if it can stay above it. Going to remark my lines. This red candle closes, or we get a long wick on the bottom, they may come back and buy it up. There's the long wick on the bottom. Let's see if they can push it higher than $1.47. I did not buy this stock, just so you know. And I'll probably regret it later. Retesting $1.47 again. That shows weakness. Pushing up a little more. It's like everybody's looking for something to move. Maybe they'll come in and pump it up. I'm watching the volume numbers. They are getting larger. We have had a nice flow on that last candle, but we're still retesting that $1.47. So we're struggling to get anywhere. But it has not fallen below that $1.47. When I say fallen, I mean closed. The candle closes down here. We broke through it, but didn't pull back up above it. So that's a good sign. There's a good push upwards. So we had good support at $1.47. The buyers did come in to drive it up. Lots of sellers, though, right up in that area. Long wicks on the top are never good. I would say if you're in profit, I would start working your way out of it. It doesn't seem to have enough strength to hold this $1.60 level. May want to leave a little bit to see if it runs again later. It's really not selling off, though. But just in case, if you're in profit, take a little. My blessing indicator showing a little red. That tells me there's weakness. Buyers are holding it up. That's a good sign. Running up a little more. Told you I'd regret not buying it. Hopefully, some of you took a chance on it and you're up a little bit this morning since it's been so flat. Sellers coming in taking profit. Might be a pullback in this area. Let's see if the buyers come back in to drive it up more. Watch for a long wick on the bottom of this red candle. This is a second opportunity for an entry, providing they don't continue to sell it off. My blessing indicator pointing south. Might go up and retest $1.70 again. There's the retest of $1.70. Volume is still increasing. The last candle was 139,000. Looks like we're over 250 now, but they are selling off. All right, YouTubers, my time is up on YouTube. If you want to continue watching us, you have to be over on our Discord on the premium side. I hope you decide to join us. We have a lot of fun over there, especially on the good days. Today may not be so happy, but we'll pull one or two out, I'm sure. Thank you for joining me this morning. And as always, God bless. See you tomorrow.